Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Robyn Zimmerman, everyone, along with Steve Gaito, a certified financial planner, with a very interesting statistic. Well, several statistics. 62% of our folks in this country are worried about inflation. 42% are worried about the stock market. What do skiing, bowling, and golf have to do with these statistics?
Yeah.
So explain,
I get
Steve.
these statistics all the time, and I'm trying to think of different ways to kind of explain them. And when I was in college, I went to Appalachian. I worked for a ski shop, and one of the neat things was each year at the end, we'd go on this amazing ski trip, and got a chance to ski in a lot of different parts all over the country. But back then, I was a pretty good skier. I could ski just about anything. And I went some places I probably shouldn't have. But now when I think about skiing, I'm not so keen on doing that. And the reason for that is that the risk versus the reward is too great. Working for myself, if I have an injury, I'm out of business. And so that same as retirees, as you get a little closer to retirement, you need to look at taking some of that risk off the table so that those statistics don't impact you.
And this is a Schwab study, right?
It is.
Do they often do studies
They
on
do
retirement?
it every year.
Okay.
And so, and it wasn't a surprise that inflation was a big factor. I think everybody that goes to a grocery store realizes that inflation is a problem.
Now, what about the bowling and the golf?
Yeah, so,
what are those analogies? What does that mean?
So bowling is one of those things. I was a terrible bowler. I mean, if I broke 100, I was happy. But when we took our kids bowling for their bowling parties like you do, they put these amazing things, these bumpers in the alley. And it made it so much easier for the kids, and it wasn't frustrating. So, when you think about it, if you fill those up and you eliminate the option for gutter balls, then bowling to them becomes more fun. Now, it doesn't guarantee that they're going to get all strikes. They're going to sometimes just hit one pin or two pin. But that's something else people need to think about, is putting some bumpers on their retirement plan so that, you may not go all the way up with the market, but you won't go down. And that's real important in retirement, that if you don't go backwards, then you don't have to worry as much about inflation. Because the worst thing that can happen is, inflation goes up and your portfolio goes down. And that becomes problematic.
We want to maintain. We don't, we want to, of course, go up, but we don't want to lose. That's what's so scary.
And that's that second statistic, that 42% are worried about what the stock market's going to do. So, in retirement, think about those bumpers in there.
All right. And talk about the golf analogy.
Yeah. Now, I know Len plays golf.
He does.
And golf, in principle, should be pretty easy to do. I mean, if you're on a par 3, it's one shot to the middle of the green and 2 putts and you par it. On a par 4, shot to the middle of the fairway, shot to the green, 2 putts, you par it.
Okay.
Third one, par 5, 2 shots to the middle of the fairway, 1 to the middle of the green, 2 putts. Should be an easy game. It's not.
It's not.
And the reason for that is that there are a lot of variables that are out there. You've got sand out there, you've got water out there, you've got what's going on in your mind. And golf, imagine if golf, you only had one club to do it. You've got a whole bag full of clubs. You wouldn't want to hit a putter off the drive, off the tee. That just doesn't make sense. And so in retirement, you need to think about all the things that are available to you that are at your disposal. And so a lot of people think, well, I've got my portfolio. And that's all they worry about, is the ups and downs of the portfolio, and that drives people nuts.
And they look at it every day, every morning, every night. I have friends that their husbands do that. That's all they do. They're constantly in their computers looking.
And so if you look at it, I mean, for me, it was a 7-iron. I was more comfortable with a 7-iron than any other club in the bag. And if I had to choose one, that'd be the club. But I felt confident hitting that shot. And the same thing is, if you take different parts of your retirement and apply them to what they're used for, then it's a much better retirement plan. And that's really what the planning process is all about. It is using all the different pieces to their best potential.
And you can help us do that.
Yeah, and that's really what I love doing. Retirement isn't that difficult like golf in philosophy. It's the execution and it's the recovery. The challenge to me, I was one of the best players hitting balls out of the woods because I did it so often, and so You don't want to have to do that in retirement on a regular basis. You want to enjoy the game.
Great analogies and great advice, as always.
Thank
Steve Gaito with Retirement Resource Management. And of course, you can go on his website to see all these videos that we've done on WHHI-TV and books and lots of resources for you. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.